Hello and welcome to the Even Me podcast. This is More Speaks.
And your girl Kim. I can't stand
And today, uh, Kim got us a new topic. So today, the topic is the higher your standards are, the more you disqualify people. The more people you disqualify. You can say
more
either
people you
way.
disqualify.
Yeah, so I'll start first because I was thinking about it while she was doing her little setup. Um, and we kind of spoke about an analogy already, and I'll let her talk about that. But I think like the higher standards will be more like your qualifications on what you're looking for in a person, in a relationship, in a, I guess, a soulmate, if you want to call it that. I feel like it's not so much that you disqualify them. You don't see them as the mate or the perfect attraction or the perfect person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, which is a good thing. I mean, you want to disqualify people that's not gonna fit your lifestyle, fit your family, fit your your goals in your future, whether you plan to have more kids or you plan to adopt or anything like that. You want to have that person, full mind, full body, full, you want them to be fully yours, and not, like we said in the past, midway in another relationship, so you want to disqualify those that don't meet those expectations or your qualifications, because there's no point of dealing with someone and 6 months down the line you find out that that's not the person for you, or maybe they won't fit your family lifestyle, because once you have kids, the first thing you think of is your kids, and how that person's going to mesh in your life, and whether they live with you or not, you
Mhm.
know one day or another they're going to meet this person, and they're going to have to approve as much as you approve, unless you just say fuck it and just start the relationship. So go ahead, Kim, you can go now. I'll
Oh,
allow
I can go.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
I can
allow
go
you.
now.
Yeah.
Just like a Gemini in you. Oof, man. No, because this came from, I don't know what it was. I think I was looking at something on YouTube. No. Instagram maybe. And they was just talking about the the higher you set your standards. Not like, oh, I gotta have somebody making six figures, because come on now. I mean, that's just you're not probably at your best. But the higher you set your standards, what you allow people to put you through and go through, and what you're allowed or allowing yourself to go through. So the higher you set those standards, that's being career. Are you gonna let people at your job, you know what you're talking about, you want to let them make a fool of you. And sometimes I'm guilty of this. Is like, I think that I have to, snap back all the time, and I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because every snake don't need their head cut off. Because some of those snakes, their venom, like we talked about earlier, that venom, I may need that venom to make me stronger. Every bite doesn't kill you. You know what I'm saying? So it teaches you to learn to shift in different directions. So the higher I set my standards, the less that I'm gonna take and deal with. So cause stemming from that, as I was thinking, I'm like, the higher I set my standards, I'm like, I'd rather have an empty bed. An empty bed is better than dealing with a bed full of lies and deceit.
Mm, ain't that
I'm telling you that, my standards now, my standards is, I don't want to deal with no bullshit. I don't want to deal with no drama. I don't want to deal with none of that. That's either personal or professional. I'm not giving you, even though I fell off this week a little bit, I'm not giving my whole self because it takes so much from me. So my standards is, I don't want to deal with anybody that got some, some health issues, mentally health issues that they don't want to work out. I don't want to deal with anybody saying I am who I am. Okay, cool. That means that you don't want to change. So slide to the left.
I say that a lot.
Huh?
I say that a lot.
You don't. I bet you didn't change. You have changed. You know that from the, what was it, 6 years I've known you, or more than 6 years. You totally changed a lot. Don't even act like that. But yeah, don't even act like that. You're the same person 6 years ago. You're not. I can
I
see
wouldn't
that.
I wouldn't say I'm the same person. I
Yeah.
would say I'm since I'm not bouncing around, I'm more committed. There's not a lot of distractions out there as it was before. That is
Yeah.
correct. But
So that's the thing. People go through things and they don't take it as, okay, yeah, I went through this big down south, this setback or this fall or whatever. Every test that we go through in life is a testimony. That's what God want to set us up for. And people don't know that the harder it comes toward you, the bigger the testimony would be. You just have to get out the bitterness. So I don't want to deal with anybody that they think because the situation they've been through, oh, that's what I am, or I ain't changing, and fuck this, fuck that. So if I stay that way, you gonna say that? If I stay this what they call us bitter black woman, if I stay as if I sound like what I sounded like to you when we came on the phone tonight, wouldn't you be like, God damn, you sound like that 6 years ago? Now
mm,
you may get that sporadically out of me every once in a while, and it has to be something that compiled together that, you know, got me to be that way. But I'm like, I don't want to deal with it. If somebody got to come in my bed or I'm in the bed with somebody or cuddy buddy, whatever, I don't want to deal with your lies, your deceit, and especially for somebody don't want to change. Because if you never been cut and you don't want that cut to heal, you gonna cut me. So I don't, nah. Mm-mm.
yeah, I would say yes, I've said I am what I am, or you know, not in the situation you say it, but it's like, okay, let's say me and my fiance, we've been in this relationship 10, 12 years, right?
Mhm.
And I do certain things. Let's say, okay, let's put the gaming aspect in. I'm an avid gamer. I got machines worth, a couple of grand because I game, right?
Mhm.
And then I do, editing, edit the podcast and all that. So I have to have a computer that can do all that. So yes, you know, I'm gonna spend money on that because that's what I do.
Mhm.
And you can't just out the blue and say, well, why you game so much? Well, when you met me, I was a gamer. It
Mhm.
hasn't changed, so don't try to change me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like you go into a relationship and you meet somebody and they're a drinker, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Nothing's gonna change from that point till the middle of the relationship or towards the end unless it becomes an issue like a health issue or something like that. Yes, that
Mhm.
person may drink less, but they're not going to stop drinking. It's just
Mhm.
like a woman beater. If he's a woman beater when you first start and you think, oh, I'm going to give him kids and maybe he'll change. No, it's just going to get worse because if you have issues,
Mhm.
with the relationship in the beginning, it's just going to get worse. Relationships, yes, they get better, but they get worse too, depending on
Mhm.
the persons, the attitudes, the type of vibes, the culture that you guys have, built together. It's just gonna either get worse or it's gonna get better, depending on the people involved in the relationship. So I mean, I've always said this: if you're a drinker, you're a casual drinker. You're a casual drinker. You're not a drunkard, right?
Mhm.
Now, if you find this person pissy drunk every freaking day,
Mhm.
or the first thing on their mind when they get off of work is getting drunk, then that person's not going to change. It's just going to continue. I mean, I had a friend that it's crazy because this guy, used to drink all the time, and I felt bad for him because his job was a minimal job when we were working at St. Luke's, and he ended up getting fired. And the way he got fired was we had this big old fire. It wasn't really a fire. Someone burnt popcorn and it set off all the alarms. And we're at St. Luke's, so you know them they sent like the full blown fire department out there and everything. and like all the managers run down there. Me as an engineer, I had to run to the fire because I was on call that day. And when I got there, I could smell it on him, and I could always smell it on him. But me and him were like always away from everybody doing, our normal duties. But this day he had to be there with me because he was the on-call person as well. So one of the managers smelled it on him, and he called another manager because two people have to smell it in order to say something about it. It's just like most companies, that's the way it is, especially with alcohol. So I mean, they ended up firing this dude, and I felt bad because I told him, I was like, man, because he used to spray a shitload of cologne thinking it's gonna hide it. It's just like alcohol and cologne, and you sweat so damn much, it just gets worse.
Mm-hmm.
So that day, I saw him outside, because it was almost time for me to go home. Because normally when you work that shift, you get off at 4. So he got fired like around 3, and he was still around because his brother worked at the company, but he was in a different department. Like he wasn't like part of St. Luke's. He was part of like the cleaning company or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw him outside, and I was like, man, you want to ride home? Because I knew where he lived. He lived, right up the street. I was like, I'll take you home. You don't have to ride the bus, because that's another thing. He rode the bus. So he took him home, and I was like, you want me to drop you off? Because I knew where his apartment was because I dropped him off a few times before. If we work late, I would drop him off. I was like, you want me to drop you off at your apartment? He's like, no, just drop me right here, man. My friends are waiting for me. So I dropped this dude off at the liquor store. Like, you just got fired from the liquor store. I mean, from the company, and you go straight to the liquor store. I guess, and ever since then, I'd never seen him again. I was like, I don't put myself, like I told you before, I don't put myself in situations with people like that. Like if I try to help you, I'm going to help you once, and after that, I can't. If you're going right to the addiction, right after you're getting fired from a good, decent job, I can't help you anymore. I'm not gonna, and I would give him some money here and there because, he made less than me. So I would, give him $20 or whatever. I didn't never ask him for him to pay me back because, I felt we were pretty cool. He was from New York. I was from New York, and, I was just trying to help him. But, ever since then, I didn't want to deal with him. And I mean, I got a couple of other stories, with me supervising techs, but I don't want to get myself fired. So, well, I'm not.
You silly.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, the relationships, you can base, relationship life, you can base your family life, you can base everything, and everything you have to disqualify certain people because you don't want to deal with the same thing over and over like I did.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the thing of it is like, I couldn't blame anybody. I tell my cousin when I talk to her a lot, I don't blame anybody because, first thing women do.
Cousin or the other cousin?
The other cousin. But, and I tell her, like, women, that's the first thing we want to do is blame the dude. I can't do that any longer. I can't blame them. I can only blame me because what I settled for, it actually it led me to the suffering I went through. So I settled. My standards they was below or whatever. Somebody, I guess it was that little attention. So you get this little attention or whatever, and it's good. And missing that people don't try to fix themselves or correct themselves. They just find other victims. So I was a victim. So, I was a victim of dealing with all the suffering I dealt with. You know what I'm saying? And I put that on myself, I knew it wasn't healthy for me. I knew it wasn't good for me. And I had to figure that out because that's all I knew,
So I'm sorry to cut you
off. Go
ahead. Did you feel comfortable in the situation and that's why you stayed there? Or
no,
was it that you were just used to it?
I was used to it. You know what I'm saying? When you used to like it becomes familiar, like your routine every day. Your routine is every day. Get up, brush your teeth, wash your face, comb your hair, get dressed. That's your routine, right? So it became so routine. This is what I went through as a little girl. This is what I went through in my 20s. I went through in my 30s and the beginning of my 40s. And it just became routine for me. And then I went back since I moved. The last 2 months, right? I went back through all these folders. I never throw stuff away, and that's a problem too. But I found a lot of folders. I mean, I'm talking about when I think these folders from 2019, and two different guys I deal with between 2019 and now. And I read what I wrote. I was just journaling or just writing something that was going on in my mind at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And each time, you're gonna sit here and say, what am I doing? I'm asking myself, like I was working my overnight job, my second job at that time. I was asking myself, what am I doing? I'm not feeling this. And then that was like 2019, 2020. Then I looked at another one from 23 to right before the first date of 2024 or 2022 or something like that, all the way to the right before we get to 2024. And I asked myself the same goddamn questions, but a different dude. All I did was switch up and went to the same thing, somebody making you feel less than. And I know a lot of people say, I can't make you feel that type of way. Shit, yes, you can. 1 minute you show me just enough to get me where you need me to be, and then crush me. Like, I was told I couldn't, both of them, let me just say both of them did. I couldn't buy a house. My credit wasn't good. I don't make any money. God said, okay, Kim, you took that. I'm going to take your ashes and turn it to beautiful. I'm going to take those ashes and make it beautiful for you. And I didn't know what that meant. So as I'm going, those 2 years of listening to this guy said, got with this guy the same thing. It's just different, the different mechanism they used and the different mannerism they used. One may not yell, but he said it. The other one yelled it. So I did this. I purchased a home. I make the money. You know what I'm saying? I got the credit. And all that happened overnight. It was just like I waddled in that mess. I felt so bogged down, so insecure about everything I did. Everything I had to rethink. I overthought because I thought I wasn't doing it right. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I heard this from my mom. I'm not good enough. I hear this from this dude. Oh, you got this issue. You know what I'm saying? You got a mole here. That's the issue. Or all that kind of stuff kind of allowed me to become that person that just settled for my own suffering. And I can't put any on anybody. And people are like, why did you do that? Man, everybody has their own suffering. They just don't see it, right? You deal with a person, you may not see that person is actually causing you some turmoil because you thinking, okay, I got 40% of the good. It can kind of outweigh the 60 of the bad. It doesn't, because all you doing is building on that 40. You put patting it in. Okay, it's good. Let me just go here. I'm gonna do this a little bit more. I'm gonna try to get them to conform to what it is that I need them to do. Or okay, I want him to celebrate me or her to celebrate me. Let me do this. No, it's a willingness, and it's if that person is willing to do this, they're not. You're trying to make them to do it, and you thinking there's something wrong with you. No, it's not nothing wrong with you. It's something wrong with them. And I'm not gonna tell anybody to leave a significant other. You have to figure that out for yourself. But I should have been gone out of both of them relationships a long time ago. I should have gone, because reading all the 10-year relationship, 11-year relationship, I have 6 or 7 journals, just like 3 sentences that I wrote. Okay, God, I'm not feeling this. Why am I here? I'm giving, I'm doing, I'm knowledge. Then this other one, it wasn't even nothing but 2 years. But shoot, for 2 years, I got three journals of hell I went through. Of hell. You know what I'm saying? So
men ever read your journal?
nah, they never read it. They might be on this podcast stalking us and looking at the podcast, but they know who they are. They know who they are. They know they up and disappeared, and they may pop back. But 2024, I don't have that type of love. Even though you kind of regret, you be like, I want to be with you. I can hear
like for 2024.
Huh?
24, the stress is out the door.
Yes. So if I hear you and you talk about me and Janelle having a dinner, sometimes you sit back and be like, I'll sit back and be like, oh, I want that or whatever. But then I don't want to go through the bullshit that I went through to
Mhm.
try to get
Yeah.
what y'all have when y'all have, oh, I have date night or we went out and had fun or whatever. You know what I'm saying? When you talk, what works for you and Janelle, I don't have that same person. You know what I'm saying? Janelle, different person, you a different person. Y'all work through whatever, all that kind of stuff. You don't have a drinking problem. You don't have a money issue. Like y'all both meshed.
At least you
So,
don't know. No.
and I mean, I'm just saying, I just can celebrate. Okay, one day I will get there. I just have to celebrate y'all's. Oh, that's cute. That's nice. And sit back and wait on mine. Because what's y'all turn is y'all turn, not my turn yet. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
I
when I
I,
rush it,
I fully
that's the
understand
problem.
because you don't want to rush into a relationship or be like, that's what
Hmm.
I want. So you go find the first thing, just like we talked on the last podcast, don't go falling for the first thing. Make sure it's the right one. And what you're going back to what you were saying, when you're in the relationship and you're, I guess, blinded by the mirrors, blinded by the smoke in the mirrors and things like that, you don't see that. Sometimes it takes that person on the outside to say, hey, you know what, that relationship is not good for you, or maybe he's treating you wrong, and maybe you don't see it. Maybe you're blind and you're like, well, I love him, I'm trying to make this work, don't mess it up, and things like that. I think I've been in a relationship like that where someone says, I think she's trying to control you, she's doing this or that, you know and it takes that person that's not in the relationship to say something. And we've been saying this for a while,
Hmm.
sometimes it takes someone not in, in conjunction of the relationship, because you don't want like a sister, you don't want like a brother on either side, because they
Hmm.
they may take your side because they're your brother or sister, or they may take his side because they're brother, sister, or cousin. You want somebody on the outside looking in, someone who has like a biased opinion, not like your best friend, because that's I think that's the worst place to get information from, because like we said before, those people may be sad and they may try to lead you in the wrong path, or try to steer you away because they're feeling a certain type of way. So I think sometimes you need like a unbiased opinion from someone to tell you, hey, I don't think that's a good step, I don't think that's a good person. Or maybe if they tell you, I know this guy, I know this girl, and they're not who they say they are. Maybe they're putting that facade in front of you because they're trying to win you over, and then boom, 6 months down the line, 5 months down the line, the smoke and mirrors are gone. Now the real person comes out, and you find out, because you guys what living together, that maybe they are an alcoholic. Maybe they have another woman. They have a whole nother relationship, a whole nother kid somewhere that they're not telling you about. So I think sometimes you need that opinion from someone, and like people do, they get two or three opinions, just like a medical issue. You want to get the most opinions and find out what the actual deal is before you fully commit, because like you said, 2 years in a relationship, you got three journals. And I mean, I don't want to say it like this, but you know what what has panned out from that? Nothing really, because now you're by yourself, you're dealing with wounded ducks, and you want to find, I think, for you, I say, in this year, you've already achieved so much to this point. Now you have to pre-qualify and qualify people to be in your life. You have to feel that way. And like I told you before, like I feel like for a long period of time, like I don't care if a woman comes talk to me or tries to holler, tries to give me her number. I know what I have at home, and I know I don't want to leave that. So you have to, what you have at home. You have your kids, you have your house. You don't want anything to ruin that, and right now you have the peace of mind that you're home alone. You may not, well, not home alone, you have your kids, but you don't want someone in your bed that's gonna mess the other side of the bed up. You want them to complete the bed, complete you, because you can do all this by yourself. You don't need this person. I mean, yes, eventually you want a relationship, you want to do the go out thing, you want to, go out and have fun, maybe take the kids with you and things like that. But don't go looking for it and find the wrong person and start that whole cycle again, because that's all it's going to start. So I,
Mm-hmm.
I 100% say, yeah, this year, you may want to just kind of pre-screen everybody and scrutinize who you select at this point.
Yeah, it's like, how can I say it? And I don't want to say it like that, you know what I'm saying? But think about it. If you fire somebody and you hire them right back, they wasn't a good employee at the beginning before you fired them, right? So why would you hire that person back? And that's how I think now in my life. You wasn't a good person to me at all. Yeah, you had some good traits, but think about all those other traits that I had to deal with when I wasn't sleeping. My mind was wandering. My mind was just, all over the place. So I'm just like, I'm shit. I'm Chick-fil-A. I'm not gonna hire you back. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna, I don't want you to come dealing back in my life. And definitely, even though you think about it, and that's just dealing with narcissists, you start thinking about, oh, is they gonna change for the other person? Are they gonna do this for the other person? That be me in every relationship that I left, or we parted ways or whatever. I would think, oh man, he's gonna do better. I wanted him to do this for me. Is he gonna do that for that person? I don't give a freaking shit no more. Because the devil always raises his little head. Always. Always. You didn't change when you had the first woman, second woman, third woman, fourth, fifth, sixth. Maybe you'll change because you're old now. You had no choice to.
Yeah.
But there's still some stuff that's gonna rise. So I feel like Chick-fil-A put their employees at a standard, and that's what I'm doing with anybody. So you and Janelle got to be on my first date when I go on a real date. So it's gonna be in spring. So just know when I go on a real date, I'm coming on that side of town.
Okay.
So they can't follow me. They can't follow me home.
Yeah.
So tell Janelle, like I got her anything she needs for me to take care of her. Boom, but she gotta go. She gonna get her biased opinion. She gonna be like, mm-mm.
She's opinionated.
Yep. So, but yeah, no, I'm not settling. I'm not settling to suffer this year. I settled so long just to suffer, and I'm not doing that. Anytime my mind get to wondering, oh, what he doing? Is he thinking about me? Oh, I should go ahead and text and call. Hell no, I'll be like, God, come on, touch this mind. Yeah, I put my hand, pray on my mind. God, remove that thought.
Yeah, that tends to happen, and that's your mind wondering and thinking, maybe this person will be okay to talk to, but then when you really start talking to them, you see it's the same shit, different day. So you have to be careful, and it's like when you get drunk, people start drunk texting. They just start texting randomly. It's the same situation, but like you said, that person didn't change during the relationship, to keep you there. So what makes you think that a few months apart or a year or two apart is going to change the situation? I don't think anything's really going to change. They would have to come to God and really revamp their life. Them just telling you they change. I doubt it.
Yeah, because
it's tough for certain people to change.
Yeah, you seen how I was tonight. Sure, I think that, I mean, I was, I changed for a couple of weeks and then I started cussing, but I'm trying to get it back together, trying to, you have a weak moment, but I'm not willing to put myself out there to deal with anything that even resemble what I've dealt with before. Anything. Like, what? You had how many drinks? Okay, I seen you had one glass, two, three, 4 gallon. Hold on, hold on, partner. I'm gonna get up and go right now because they look like an alcohol trait right there. You know, you got alcoholism, something going on, and they may not be. But I'm seeing you scarfing down the liquor like that.
Yeah,
Something going on.
you gotta pay attention to the red flags. Now, let's say if y'all go out to drink and y'all drinking, then and it's sociable, then I'm okay with that. I don't see an issue. But if it's like I said, like a pattern, like maybe they didn't go out to drink with you, but they come home drunk, or they smell like liquor, or they just got home from work and they already smell like beer, or they come home with a 6 pack, depending on, what it is, then you see that pattern, you're like, okay, this person hasn't changed. I mean, yeah, we went drinking and they drunk a little bit more than often, than I would really like, but we were enjoying ourselves. Everything was normal after that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there's no red flags then, but then the drinking picks up, here and there. But I would say if it is a date and y'all drinking and the red flags start to like pop up, like he starts talking a certain way, verbally and slurring, then you're like, okay, this motherfucker he's been drinking way before we even got here. Because I mean, I know before I go out, I'll have one or two drinks, but when I drink, I don't drink like that. I don't drink to get drunk. I drink to be social and hang out, and but you have the angry drunks, you have the abusive drunks, you have the drunks that can't even stay awake, or the drunks that just drink to pass out. You have to know the warnings and the red flags, because I think this year that's what you got to look for, all the red
Mm-hmm.
flags in the people.
Oh,
'Cause if you see a red
yeah,
flag and it's the first date, then maybe it's over.
yeah. I know it's like some things, and I don't like anybody to try to push me into. So you got a couple of people that try to talk to me, and they trying to push me into. Oh well, I'm gonna take you here. No, I don't want to go there. You know what I'm saying? I understand. Let's do something so simple. Let's do something kiddie. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go. I don't have to tell you that that's my trauma I'm dealing with, because that's something I have to get over. So I don't want to go to a bar and sit up and drink. Let's go to a movie. Let's go do something else. Go out, go out to eat. Why we have to go sit up at a bar and just drink? I mean, come on now. It's like let's figure something else out. So if you can deviate from that, to me, it's like you whatever you've been through, I don't know just yet. But to me, that's one step, because I feel like bar scene is not me, but I can go just to have a good time, watch a game or something to get away. That's not a problem, but I'm not trying to on a first date or first outing. I don't think I want to do that. Nah, it's okay. You pass me with that. Come back with something else.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I say in your case, you want to do like the lovey-dovey type stuff. Go to the movies, go have dinner, go to a park,
hmm
and just feel the person out.
hmm
Meet them at church. Maybe see them at church or something. You know, it, I think every person in every place has a certain situation, a certain outcome. So I would say, you're not gonna take a drunkard or someone that drinks
hmm
bar. You want to go and go to a neutral location that y'all
hmm
can hang out. Go have dinner at a restaurant or something. If you have a drink, then you have a drink. Now if
hmm
they're throwing back the drinks and y'all just having dinner, then that's another problem.
Yeah,
But,
so that's the biggest red flag there.
so
Um, yeah, I'm good right now because it's be like, yeah, I want to go. I don't want to go because I'm not feeling that type of scene right now. You know what I'm saying? And some guys so aggressive. I'm like, dude, do I have to just block you or not even respond back to you, because I don't try to make me, because somebody else, that's what they like to do. That's them. I'm not that person. I'm not a person to be out all night. I'm not a person. I can go to a movie. I can do this. I can buy flowers for myself and do this for myself. Sure. I probably can even, take care of myself sexually. But
Did you
I
finally
don't
listen to that song? Miley Cyrus, I can buy myself flowers.
stop it. No, I had not. I have not listened to it. I'm gonna do it tonight. Promise I'm gonna do it because you so persistent on me listening to this song. But anyway, I'm just
Put that sometime. I'm gonna look for it real quick.
oh my god, he gonna look for it. But no, I'm just like I don't have time for that. Then I watched this movie on Tubi, right? It's just the first part because I can't watch certain things on Tubi because it makes me lose interest very easily if it doesn't catch me. But what good part about it? Oh, it was called oh my god, The Deal or something like that. And this girl, she had been friends with this one girl for the longest time, like sisters almost, and then she had another friend. But the one that was like a sister to her so much used to tell her, this man controlling, he this and then this, you need to leave him while you stay with him. And she's like, oh, in the African culture, this is what we do. We stay with our husbands, no matter what, right? So she had one guy, beginning of, she had one guy who liked her very much. Another guy who was kind of strong pursuing her. But the guy that really liked her stayed around. And she never knew that that was the man for her. But she skipped both of them. And we got this abusive her.